WPTV Treasure Coast News starts now.
Tonight, the sentence following a devastating crash, one forever changing many families on the Treasure Coast, and why the legal troubles may not be over for Tanner Dashner. And the new report exposing housing concerns on the Treasure Coast and those feeling the impact the most these days. Well, good evening and welcome to Treasure Coast News on WPTV News Channel 5. Each Saturday at 7 o'clock, you can join us here for dedicated coverage of stories and issues in and around the Treasure Coast from Stewart to Sebastian. But first alert meteorologist Kate Wenzel here with a look at how the evening is shaping up. Kate?
Hey, John, much better than where we started the day. We had quite a bit of activity late morning, early afternoon across the region. But as you can see, things quieting down very nicely right now, only left with a few showers. Here's one, and this is in St. Lucie County, well west of the East Coast metro areas. It's drifting to the north and to the northwest, and another tiny shower, this to the south of Fellsmere, and it is weakening, so likely to dissipate in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Elsewhere, some light shower activity near Bassinger and Okeechobee County, but the overall trend will be mainly dry tonight, with only about a 10% chance of seeing an isolated shower. How about our temperatures? Right now it's 86 degrees, Port St. Lucie, 84, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach, 84 degrees, 84 in Sebastian, and 84, quite a popular number in Okeechobee. So temperatures staying mild through this evening. We're talking about temps right around 82 degrees by midnight into 1 o'clock, with just about a 10% chance of showers. So for Sunday, we do expect a similar pattern with the best chance of seeing some rain near the East Coast metro areas first thing in the late morning and afternoon, and then everything pushes inland. I'll have your 4th of July forecast coming up, as well as a check on the tropics.
72 years in prison. That's the sentence for a Fort Pierce man for killing 5 people in a horrific crash 3 years ago. The judge handing down that sentence to Tanner Dashner, saying there was no evidence that convinced the court that Dashner was on the autism spectrum, as his lawyers had argued. The judge said there was evidence presented that indicated Dashner was in control of his decisions that fateful night. FHP investigators said Dashner's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit when he slammed into the back of a Dodge Dakota at Midway Road. Dashner read apologies to each of the victims' families during his sentencing.
I am sorry. I'm sorry that you will never get to see your son reach his full potential. I am sorry that he will never get to pursue the dreams that he had.
The judge says Dashner has 30 days to appeal his sentence. Now, the legal fight for Tanner Dashner is not over. While he now knows the criminal sentence, there are also civil suits. Megan McRoberts reports how those suits can now move forward.
Before Tanner Dashner drove drunk just after his 21st birthday and caused this fiery crash in 2018, killing 5 young people and injuring a 6th person. Investigators said he had been drinking here at On the Edge Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce.
What happened there is unfortunate and reckless.
Family of victims Alexis Cheney and Keaton Tillett are now going after the bar, Tanner Dashner, and his parents who owned the car Dashner was driving. In 2 civil lawsuits, attorney John Phillips claims On the Edge Bar and Grill and its staff overserved Tanner Dashner, didn't stop him from getting into his car while knowing he was intoxicated, and did not stop him from taking alcohol with him out of the bar. Phillips says Dashner, while at the bar, posted this picture to Snapchat with the caption, "sloshed."
And to turn a blind eye as people, take alcohol out of the facility, it's all bad.
At the same bar in early 2021, investigators say a 19-year-old, Ryan Hester, was also overserved and drove drunk, causing a deadly crash that killed a new mom, Claudia Trewin Bradley.
That this reckless loss of life stop.
The civil suit, Phillips said, had been slow-moving, waiting for the criminal hearings for Dashner to end.
Tanner Dashner had a 5th Amendment right not to incriminate himself, pled the 5th.
But with sentencing over,
now we get to take his deposition and find out more about what happened.
Meanwhile, the state won't say whether or not it has its own investigation into the bar or whether it would revoke its liquor license.
You can't sue to have a liquor license removed necessarily, but if you get testimony, you can provide that to the authorities that regulate licenses and say, look, this is what's going on at this facility. and they'll shut down the facility or take away the license.
Management at the bar did not want to make a comment. We have also left a message for its attorney.
Megan McRoberts, Fox 29 News.
A man is behind bars after Port St. Lucie police say he stole a truck and trailer and then crashed it. Police say the surveillance video shows Rafael Cardona stealing the truck that contained a bobcat on it from a job site. The workers followed the suspect and confronted him while stopped in traffic. Officers say Cardona tried to hit one of the men, and that man fired his gun twice, hitting the truck. Officers say as Cardona was trying to get away, he crashed and took off running before he was arrested. No one was hurt. Cardona's charged with grand theft, aggravated assault, and resisting an officer. Fire crews in Indian River County investigating whether lightning may have sparked a blaze at the Southwinds condo building on Thursday. That building on North Southwinds Boulevard on the Barrier Island. The flames so intense they burned through the building's roof. Fire rescue says people did have to be evacuated, but nobody was hurt. We're still waiting to learn the extent of the damage inside. Fire rescue again trying to figure out how it started. Looking to save a few bucks on clothes for your kids? Well, a sales tax exemption is in effect for the next year on things like diapers, clothes, and apparel, and shoes for kids ages 5 and under. Now, the tax break will run through June 30th of 2023. A new study from Florida Atlantic University painting a harsh reality for people looking to rent in the area. Researchers say until more units can be built faster, South Florida's rental crisis will continue. Right now, on average, the monthly rental rate is more than $1,900, nearly 10% more than what renters should be paying based on past market trends. 6 Florida markets rank in the top 10 most overvalued. That includes Port St. Lucie, ranked 7th in the U.S. Dr. Ken Johnson, an economist with FAU, also wrote in the study that rising interest rates will price more people out of the housing market and keep them as renters. And as long as the demand for renting remains high, so will rental rates.
Now, exclusive Treasure Coast stories from our partners at TC Palm.
Everybody needs a hobby. Some people collect stamps or coins. Indiantown resident Mike Kimmel hunts python. TC Palm's top premium story this week details how Kimmel and his dog Moose have been finding the giant snakes in their hiding places in the Everglades. Kimmel, who is better known as the Python Cowboy on social media, regularly spends 4 to 5 days per month in the South Florida swamps searching for pythons. He's been at it for 6 years. Many of the snakes are found lying on gravel roads that crisscross the glades, but Kimmel has begun taking his fight to the pythons away from the roads and into the thickets of palmettos and brush tangles. He's an independent contractor who sells the hides and meat of the pythons. Also in TC Palm this week, learn about the state's plans to speed up the permitting process for planting seagrass. For TC Palm, I'm columnist Blake Fontenay.
Coming up, Port St. Lucie still looking to fix its ongoing trash problems. We've got more on the latest trash talk. Homeowners hoping for a dip in the pool this holiday weekend, but getting some relief as the owner of a local pool company is convicted of failing to deliver.
And after an active afternoon of storms across the Treasure Coast, we are seeing things quieting down as we head into your Saturday evening. So what can we expect for Sunday? I'll let you know coming up after the break.
This is WPTV Treasure Coast News.
Well, the trash talking continues over garbage collection in Port St. Lucie, but Waste Pro wants it to stop. The company sent a letter to the city recently to stop what Waste Pro called, quote, false and misleading disparaging statements. News Channel 5's Stephanie Susskind looked into this ongoing feud as claims of broken promises fly on both sides.
This is the letter from Waste Pro and its attorneys to the city of Port St. Lucie. It outlines several statements from the city that Waste Pro says are false, but city leaders say they only speak the truth.
Garbage is spilling over, and so are frustrations.
We pay, taxes, and expected, to get what we, paying for it and then it's not being done.
Sheila Berry says she never really knows when the trash will be picked up in her Torino Lakes neighborhood.
Just leave it out and it doesn't look nice in the community.
She's one of many neighbors in Port St. Lucie who want to put the lid on the trash troubles.
We have maggots, flies everywhere. It's just very it's disgusting.
And now the city manager is frustrated too.
The letter is intended to muzzle the city from talking about how we got to this point in time.
Port St. Lucie City Manager Russ Blackburn is talking about this letter from Waste Pro. One example of the ongoing feud, Waste Pro says in the June 22nd, 2022 press release by the city states that after suspending recycling at Waste Pro's request, garbage collection has continued to decline. But Waste Pro says that statement is patently false, saying as the city is well aware, Waste Pro has been bringing in crews from divisions outside of the area to provide additional assistance.
We strongly disagree with the points that were made by Waste Pro's attorney. We do believe we've been providing factual information to the community.
Meanwhile, people like Sheila say they continue to deal with unreliable trash service. To ease the strain, the city is now leasing 9 garbage trucks to help reduce the wait time between pickups.
It certainly impacts our resources. These are folks that might be out on stormwater or on roadside maintenance. Instead, they're driving a rented garbage truck.
The new garbage trucks on the road right now are first focusing on complaints coming in through the One PSL system. If you need help with how to connect with that to file a complaint, we have the information for you on our website, WPTV.com. In Port St. Lucie, Stephanie Suskind, WPTV News Channel 5.
Earlier this week, Waste Pro's attorney told us she received a letter from the city denying the allegations. Now, if you're affected by the trash troubles, you could soon be getting a credit. The city's proposed budget for next year includes a one-time credit of about $36. That's equal to 6 weeks of solid waste service. The city's been locked in with this ongoing battle with Waste Pro over its delayed garbage collection. Now, a new solid waste provider is taking over in September. City Council will next discuss the budget July 20th. Investigators say he drained the wallets of customers and left them with nothing to show for it. Now, a key figure in the Amore Pools investigation is found guilty on multiple charges. Now, it's a case we were first to expose. WPTV's Megan McRoberts at the Indian River Courthouse with reaction from victims.
Well, the more than 100 customers who fell victim to this did not have to wait long for this outcome. Brian Washburn tonight found guilty on 9 of 12 charges against him just 8 months after he and his wife were arrested.
The defendant is guilty of organized scheme to defraud as charged.
The first of 9 guilty charges are read off in this Indian River County courtroom. A jury found Brian Washburn guilty of organized scheme to defraud, 6 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification information, and 2 counts of money laundering.
There is justice.
A much anticipated outcome for former customers of Amore Pools like Deb Negger. She and her husband paid Amore Pools tens of thousands of dollars to build their dream pool.
They looked legit to us.
But we first showed you the empty shell and mess left behind. Deb was one of a few dozen people who testified during a more than 2-week trial.
People like this should not be allowed to take advantage of anyone. Just heartless.
Victims told investigators and a jury that Brian and his wife, Crystal Washburn, would take large upfront deposits, cash them, but eventually the work would slow down. Victims also said Washburn used their signatures on documents they did not sign. Brian and his wife were arrested in October following an FDLE investigation. Deb is feeling most grateful for the customers who banded together to make this arrest possible, shared their stories, and helped give investigators a clean case to take to trial.
A small group of people with a strong will can accomplish something because they put the case together. We all worked as a unit. We all showed up at different hearings. We made this happen. Otherwise, I can promise you, he would still be out there defrauding other people.
Tonight, Deb has a finished pool done by another company.
Oh my God, every day we're in that pool, every single day. And I don't think about any of the bad.
But she's not holding out hope to see any reimbursement, with restitution still undetermined. A sentencing date has not yet been set for Brian Washburn, and his attorney did not wish to make a comment tonight. Also, a date has not been set for Crystal Washburn's trial. In Indian River County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, Washburn was found not guilty of a few counts, including 1 count of false information on an application for a contractor's license and 1 count of unlicensed contractor during a state of emergency. A tornado touchdown on Thursday. It was brief, lasted just about 60 seconds, but some of our viewers spotted this twister on Thursday afternoon near the Treasure Coast International Airport in Fort Pierce. No damage was reported.
Yes, and if you're going to have a tornado, that is the type to have. One that's less, not on the ground for even a total minute, and no reports of damage or injuries. So we lucked out there. Jensen Beach today, beautiful sunrise over the ocean. Some cumulus clouds moving throughout the day, some cirrus clouds too, but a lot of folks enjoyed their Saturday at the beach. And near the East Coast, that's where we stayed the driest. But if you were much to the west of the beach, you probably saw some showers and storms today. It was a hot one in Bureau Beach, 92 degrees. That is 2 degrees above the average for this time of year. And in West Palm Beach, made it up to 89 degrees today. Temperatures right now across the Treasure Coast, 85. Port St. Lucie, 84. Vero Beach, 84 in Okeechobee. Sebastian checking in at 84 degrees. And temperatures will be holding steady over the next few hours. So it was an active day earlier across the region. You can see that with Viper radar, some pretty big storms, but now things are quieting down. Just some light shower, very, very light in nature in northern St. Lucie County, and then also a very teeny tiny shower just to move over the turnpike there in Indian River County, and some light rain near Bassinger in Okeechobee. Other than that, we are dry, no storms, not expecting any storms through your evening. So low end rain chances, temperatures staying in the low 80s with partly cloudy skies. Well, the tropics are getting busy. Fortunately, nothing that is going to impact our weather this weekend, but we are tracking Tropical Storm Colin, formed at 5 a.m. this morning, and it's basically going to graze the coastline there of the Carolinas, North Carolina, right across the Outer Banks, and then emerging out into the Atlantic, where it is expected to weaken quickly. The other thing we're watching tonight in the tropics is a little wave moving into the central Caribbean, and it is bringing some heavy rains right now to Puerto Rico as well as Hispaniola. Only a 10% chance that this will develop because it's encountering some pretty strong winds, and that's pretty much tearing it apart. So we'll continue to track the tropics for you, but no concerns tonight. Vipercast showing tonight any activity we have will be winding down shortly. We start the morning dry on Sunday, then by late morning, early afternoon, we start to see that East Coast sea breeze kicking in. By 2:30, it starts to push inland, and then by about 4 o'clock, we start to see everything falling apart, moving over to the west coast. We'll stay dry for the remainder of your Sunday evening. And look at Monday. This is 4th of July, the noon hour, few little spotty showers, and everything pushes inland pretty fast. So we should stay nice and dry for all of those fireworks displays. For tonight, temps dropping down to 79 degrees, nothing more than a few isolated showers. Tomorrow, 90 degrees with a 30% chance of showers and storms. And for the boaters, seas around 2 feet, inland waters, a moderate chop, high tide 11:43 in the morning. And if you're doing any ocean swimming, pay attention to the lifeguards. So our rain chances relatively low the next 2 days, 30% chance, and then we bump it up to a 50% chance of scattered storms on Tuesday.
Here are your Treasure Coast sports highlights with the ESPN 106.3 sports team.
What's going on, my good friends? Tyree Smith from ESPN 106.3. It's the holiday weekend, baby. People are spending it at the beach, the pool, out of town with family and friends, or other things. Or some people are spending it watching one of America's favorite pastimes.
And that's baseball. In Port St. Lucie, military members and veterans will be honored this weekend by the St. Lucie Met. It comes in the form of special jerseys, the jerseys with creative designs on them to represent one who was or is currently serving. Jerseys will be available for auction through July 5th, and the proceeds will go to VVA Chapter 556 to help local veterans. The event is something one local Mets fan isn't taking for granted.
Great. It's great. It's great just to watch them, and then for them to honor us with free tickets, it's even better. You can't get any better than that. Come to here and have camaraderie with my fellow brothers in the military and sisters.
And that's a look at sports.
Well, Bright Line will be coming through the Treasure Coast soon. That means potential headaches for boaters. Coming up, how to have your voice heard. The city of Stuart and Congressman Brian Mast want to hear from you before a new federal law changes how the St. Lucie River Railroad Bridge is operated. The area expected to get busier as Brightline moves in. WPTV's Derek Lowe in Stuart with more as the deadline for public comment approaches.
And the mayor of Stuart wants to make it clear for people living here in Martin County and residents along the entire Treasure Coast that when this new rule change, this new set schedule for the drawbridge, the openings and closings goes into effect, he says it's not only going to affect the everyday recreational boater, maybe heading to the sandbar, but also public safety and marine first responders, even marine commerce. He says the Stuart Police Department, the Martin County Sheriff's Office, even Customs and Border Patrol, they all dock their boats on the west side of the single track drawbridge that's located again just west of the Roosevelt Bridge. This one in Stuart, over 100 years old. It's the only single track drawbridge north of Martin County heading into Central Florida. Right now the drawbridge is open on an as needed basis and depending on the oncoming freight train and Brightline traffic. City leaders say it's open for about 15 minutes per hour on average right now. When an official schedule is created, though, they want equality for marine traffic and for the bridge to be open 30 minutes every hour. When Brightline begins running 20 trains per day, in addition to the 12 to 15 daily freight trains, the mayor says it will create a serious traffic bottleneck for boaters heading east and west across the state.
The St. Lucie River and Okeechobee Waterway are the only cross-Florida waterway. So this is an emergency evacuation route for hurricanes. This is a direct route for any boat in the Gulf of Mexico that wants to head east.
The drawbridge right now really only provides a clearance above the water of about 6 feet, meaning that a lot of boats aren't able to get through unless it's currently open. The mayor says that there are talks and conversations about a new bridge that would be constructed with Brightline and the city that would provide much more clearance. It would be double track, but the mayor says at best that drawbridge possibility is that the nearest 5 to 6 years away. We've provided a link over on our website for residents and people living along the Martin County and Treasure Coast area to provide that public comment to the U.S. Coast Guard.
And the deadline to make public comments has been pushed back to July 25th. Well, the Martin County School District making it easier for students to get some free meals this summer. Next week, the district will unveil its summer feeding bus in Stuart. The bus is equipped with a mobile kitchen and dining area for 20 kids. There will also be free onboard internet and music for the kids to enjoy. Again, all those meals will be free. The first 2 stops, Tuesday morning, first at the Stuart Congregational Church and then at the crossings at Indian Run Apartments. The Treasure Coast Food Bank has received a grant to help expand food choices. The $75,000 grant from the Morgan Stanley Foundation, and it will be used to provide healthier options for families on the Treasure Coast. Treasure Coast Food Bank, one of 30 food banks to get these grants. The food bank says that its need for help has grown since the start of the pandemic. Right now, nearly 1 in 4 people are facing hunger on the Treasure Coast.
And for Sunday and Monday, just a 30% chance of showers and storms. The pattern will be to see some pop-up showers late morning, early afternoon near the coast, and then everything will push inland with the best coverage of storms across the lake region by mid to late afternoon.
Thanks, Kate, and thank you for joining us for Treasure Coast News here on WPTV News Channel 5. You can catch us again next Saturday at 7 p.m. You can always find more stories about what's happening in your area on our website, WPTV.com. Just click the Treasure Coast link that's there at the top of the homepage. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a great week.